whether she's conscious of it or not, she's expecting to be compensated for the opportunity cost of not spending her time and giving a relationship to men that she might prefer. So the guys that women...
That's why the nice guys are forced to jump through all the hoops, and for the bad boys, she gives everything away for free, for nothing. It's a brutal part of the game that a lot of men tend to see this as they're growing up with classmates, you know, the girl in your class that you really like, and how she's so fond of this one guy who you know is no good for her, but she constantly gives him attention. She constantly allows him to mess up. She takes him back every time he does something wrong, and you're the bozo that has to sit there and hear all about it because you're just friends. And then as the time passes on and then she finally realizes her mistakes, dude, she's gonna make a move on you because you're the safe bozo walking wallet that is gonna take her in feeling lucky that she finally saw the value in you, but only after you jump through a million hoops and have a million roadblocks in front of you of things she will no longer do for you that she did for all those men. You got to work 10 times as hard to get the little bitty attention that those men work 10 times less to get. She's going to be closed off psychologically. She won't do the bedroom acrobatics. She won't do all the natural feminine things she was doing for the men she was naturally attracted to. Your entire relationship is a negotiation, and she expects, like he said, that she be compensated every single day for the fact that she settled for you. And that is why they say nice guys finish last. In reality, they never get to finish at all. It's a hellish existence to be with a woman that thinks she's better and can do better than you and be treated as a second-class citizen in your own relationship. And a lot of men are dealing with that or have dealt with it, and they're watching these videos. They could tell you.
Most men have never been and would never be. Most women cannot tolerate anyone telling them what to do, yet expect a man to fix all their problems whenever they need. Most women want the same rights that men have, but refuse to take the same responsibility as men. Ladies, if you want a good relationship with men, stop blaming them for everything. The men that you're living with in this world today, first of all, had nothing to do with men 50, 100, 200 years ago. Second of all, just want to find a woman who they can love and build a life with. But apparently a lot of y'all don't want that. Then you complain how there's no good men left. Maybe men aren't the problem. Have you thought about that?
I low-key feel like I'm gonna get attacked by incels for saying this.
Hi!
But men have stopped even, like, pretending to be, like, chivalrous or, like, gentlemen.
Pretending? They weren't pretending.
I was at Tractor Supply right now getting dog food, and I get the 45-pound bag, right? So I'm standing in line. There's a dad and his kids that are at the check stand, and then there's a guy my age that's, like, directly in front of me. And I'm have this bag of dog food on my hip like I'm carrying like a 6-year-old child. I don't know, 45 pounds, right? It's unwieldy. And the dad and his kids are kind of taking a long time, which, like, whatever, not a big deal. The kid in front of me has one thing. He's buying a pool floaty, one thing. And I don't know, if I was a guy buying one thing and I saw a woman, like, with a giant bag of dog food, I'd be like, here, go in front of me. He didn't.
Would you also do that for a man that was carrying something heavy? Or would he have to wait his turn? When men do this, they're treating you as an equal. And courtesy is supposed to be freely given, not expected. Men don't owe you that just because you're a woman. Would it have been nice? Yeah. But you treating it like an expectation is absolutely ridiculous. Can men have expectations out of women out in public like this? No? If a man's hungry, are you supposed to stop what you're doing and make him a sandwich? I just don't get the double standard with this. Also, it's worth noting that man might have been taken, and I see a lot of women these days posting videos about how dare her man talk to another woman. So, if he's with a woman that's maybe a little bit insecure, she probably would have had an issue with him letting you go first, or him talking to you. So that's also worth considering. Not only did we demand equality, there's a lot of women demanding that a man don't even acknowledge other women's existence when they're in a relationship with them. So if you truly want something like this to change, we need to stop shaming men. Also, if a man let you go first, there's a chance that a woman could take that as a insult, like he's inferring that she's weak, that she needs to go first because she's incapable of carrying the bag of dog food. So see how this could be taken in a variety of ways?
I married the nice guy. The guy who made me laugh. I married the guy who was stable, who didn't yell. I married the guy who wasn't afraid to get down on the floor and play with kids. I married the guy who laughed really loudly. Who didn't seem to care if anybody was watching.
I married the guy who was soft with me, who listened to me on the phone for hours.
Spoiler alert, guys, they are separated, heading towards divorce, which is so disappointing and exactly why so many will say that a man will sacrifice his happiness for his family and a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. And it is exactly when loyalty and commitment is not valued over individual happiness. In these situations, 100% of the time, the grass is not greener, and the woman ends up regretting the divorce. But what's unfair and unfortunate for men oftentimes that are committed, that are loyal, they have to go through this sort of loss, and that kind of stinks.
So a girl, they know when a guy is cheating, right?
I feel like women can suspect.
So why can't you guys know when something's wrong with him? If you make a guy feel like he's not worthy, they mentally check out. They emotionally check out. If he comes to you, tells you about his problems, tells you and tries to confide in you something that's just really going on with him, and you decide to turn your back or not even acknowledge it or hear it but then have no action behind it, you're causing this man to check out emotionally. An emotional checked out man is dangerous. He gives no fucks about anything. Like, yeah, you're my person, but you already showed me that you're not going to be there for me. I'm going to, instead of telling you what's wrong when you ask, oh, what's wrong? Why are you like this? Nothing. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, well, you're always like that. Nah, it's because the last time I told you, you ignored me. That's when we check out. That's what happens.
Men, why is it that the nicest guys are always in the friend zone? Like, I heard that women tend to put, like, the sweetest men ever straight into the friend zone. And, like, it makes zero sense to me. Why wouldn't you want a partner who treats you really, really well? You know, I'm hoping that my future husband will be, you know, like that, so that I can, you know, reciprocate the love and the care and the effort, so that we can hopefully live happily ever after. Like, why wouldn't you want that? Let me know if you've ever been in the friend zone and why you think women tend to do this weird behavior.
56% of liberal women aged 18 to 29 have literally been diagnosed with a mental health disorder. You know what that means? It means 44% of them haven't been diagnosed with a mental health disorder by a professional. That doesn't mean they don't have one. It just means that they haven't been diagnosed yet. That's all. Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. Only 56%. Yeah, that's how it is, guys. And obviously, that's only the number officially diagnosed. The real number is obviously higher.
Not because I stand on what I said. The guy who has treated me the most like out of all the guys that I've dated was an ugly, literally the ugliest man.
What do you call yourself? Just asking. Also, nice septum ring nose piercing. Let's see if septum ring theory plays out here.
And out of all of them, treated me the worst. He looked like a rat. He was so ugly that when we were I had to close my eyes because I was scared that if I looked directly at him, I turned to.
Oh, he was so ugly that you had sex with him? He was so ugly that you spread your legs for him to literally get inside of you and be the most intimate two human beings can possibly be? Yeah, checks out, makes sense. You retarded freaking.
Oh, ugly fuck.
You're an ugly.
Guess who treated me the best out of all the boyfriends that I dated? The hot one. With the big wiener.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe her. Believe no women is what I preach. And yeah, why don't I believe her? It's because I don't think an ugly septum nose piercing wearing like her, who is, by the way, obviously insufferable, could actually pull a hot guy with a big schlong. And if she did, what the F are you doing, dude? Come on, increase your standards. Men need better standards. They need to increase their standards where women need to decrease their standards, be humbled, and get back in the kitchen, if not the doghouse, because they're a bunch of freaking
I actually don't hear a lot of people talking about how different breakups feel when you start dating like higher echelon men and higher value men. Like when you're dating like an average guy or even like a below average guy, you guys break up and like there's shit you can hate on. You can think like, wow, he was a loser. He like was a bum. He had no drive in his life. He didn't have a job. He was a horrible boyfriend, whatever. But when you date upper level men and then have to go through breakups with them, you can't say any of that. The guy you were dating was educated, made lots of money, had an amazing job, took care of himself, looks good, is tall, etc., and has lots of options. Like, there's nothing you can attack for your own ego. And on top of that, a lot of people in breakups love to be like, well, they're gonna regret that. They're gonna regret fumbling me. But when you're dating higher value men, they probably won't, because they can replace you like that. So yeah, I've raised my standard and I'm dating like way better guys now, but going through breakups with them is not for the weak.
You know, what's funny about what this lady Elixir Shot was saying about high value men, maybe I didn't hear it. Maybe you can go back and listen to the clip. I didn't hear her say anything about the man's character. I remember her saying he's got money, he's got options, he's educated, he's rich. Once again, he's tall. And then she said, etc. You guys are having a problem picking the right men. And then you're going to say that men are trash. But you just told us what you're looking for. And it didn't seem to have anything to do with the man's character.
Bradley is wrong about why women leave. His whole theory is that men got soft, beta husbands, lazy providers, and if guys would just man up, their wives would stay. His prescription is testosterone, his cure is 1955. Here's where he's missing it. Women file nearly 70% of divorces in this country, and most of the men that I've sat across from were working long hours, coming home to the kids, handling the things she never sees, and still they weren't doing enough. She isn't filing because she's doing 2 jobs. She's filing because she's been told she's doing 2 jobs. From inside the room, the women who file aren't the most tired. They're the most connected. She isn't divorcing you. She's divorcing the marriage she watches on her phone all day. The divorced friend posting beach photos captioned, "The soft life saved me." The TikTok therapist diagnosing her marriage in 60 seconds. The single mom influencer with the spotless kitchen, the calm kids, and a morning routine that never includes a husband. The IG coach selling boundaries courses where her husband is always the boundary. The post-divorce glow-up reel, new haircut, new body, new caption. I finally chose me. Every one of these is selling her the same story. The woman on the other side of the divorce is calmer, freer, hotter, and finally herself. Brad's fix is to go backwards, but you can't. You can't unspoil the algorithm. You can't put 2007 back in the box. She isn't filing because she's exhausted. She's filing because she's been told the next chapter is better. She's been told that by everyone in her phone.
A lot of guys, especially in this day and age, a lot of guys are seeing that women aren't bringing a lot to the table, and it's very unnerving because women have a huge capacity, but they're not spending their whole life exploring that and expanding on what they can do and what they can give. So they're coming into the dating world thinking, oh, I'm just attractive, I'm beautiful, and this guy's going to pay for all my plastic surgery, and he's just going to buy me this nice house in the coolest neighborhood in our town, and he's going to buy me this car and do all this stuff for me, and all I'm going to do is sit home and go to my appointments and, you know, have some babies, get a nanny, not even have babies. They don't even want to have a lot of the time, these women. They just want to do IVF and very sterile, very clean, get on with their life, and the guys get so shortchanged, and it's absolutely not fair. And guys need to have higher standards and have expectations of, yeah, you know what, I do want to marry somebody intelligent, I want to marry somebody interesting, somebody confident, somebody who is just naturally beautiful and who's not looking for the next best thing or to keep up with the Joneses and all of that. Because when you get down to the nitty-gritty of the day-to-day life, sometimes what you'll find is that if you're not completely aligned with each other, that relationship will start to fracture at every possible corner and direction, you know, that you could think of. And when that starts to happen, not even almost impossible, it is impossible to reconfigure that in a way that will work for either person. And the women a lot of times get such a good deal because they get everything paid for and they didn't really want anything else from the guy. So guys have to be super careful when they're picking their lifelong partner, because this is, you have to consider, going to be the mother of your children.
So I will like randomly cancel dates with men just to see how they react. Like, I was actually dating this man recently and he was so nice to me, gave me money, like was a decent guy. He'd never really gotten mad with me before, like ever.
She tested him and he got upset and ended up dropping her. By the way, did she say that he was nice and gave her money? Okay, that part he shouldn't have done, but he absolutely made the right move by not moving forward in this relationship after he realized that he was really just there to be used by her.
This young lady has a message to the men.
Okay, we need to normalize guys approaching girls at the gym because right now it's just awkward for everyone.
I've been seeing a lot of videos with women saying this, but I'm gonna go ahead and translate what she's actually trying to say.
There will be a guy I see every day. We make eye contact, we do the little half smile thing, and then nothing ever happens.
So there's some guy in the gym, he's 6'8", built like LeBron James. They make eye contact and they smile at each other every day. And because of that, she feels special, not knowing he's making eye contact and smiling at a lot of girls in the gym because he's 6'8" and built like LeBron James.
This goes on for weeks. At that point, we're basically coworkers. I'm not asking to be hit on mid-squat or anything, but if you catch me between sets and just say hi, that's not weird. What's weird is pretending we don't recognize each other after making eye contact 40 times. Like, grow a pair and come talk to me.
So fellas, let me be clear on what she's saying. She wants that guy to come talk to her, not you. Don't you go walking over there, you're gonna end up on a TikTok video. When these women say this, they are talking to specific men. They're not talking to all of us. So do not get tricked, do not get fooled. Don't let her shame you into doing it, trying to make us feel like we're weak if we don't go over there and talk to her. She's not talking to us. She is talking to him. And most of these women making these videos, they are talking to specific men. They're not talking to the rest of us. This is why you see some women online saying, don't talk to us, and other women saying, talk to us. Because the women who are saying don't talk to us, those are the regular men approaching. The women who are saying come talk to us, those are the good looking men that they want to approach. So don't get it twisted, fellas. I'm just trying to save you some time. That's all I'm doing.
Ladies, there are men that love dealing with women that have quote unquote hit the wall because they know that you've lost the leverage to demand more. That's why you say, I'm going to maintain my own and we can have separate living arrangements. God's gonna sign up for and you don't want marriage, and you don't want kids, and you just only need me on the weekend. Sign me up. Guys actually love guys who have no legitimate, long-term, serious intentions for women. Love the one because now when I come back in the store, everything's on clearance. The things I couldn't get before that was on the top shelf, that was so hard, and there was a line around the corner. Now I can walk in. There's one person in line. Everything's on the clearance rack. Now's the time. Now's my opportunity to get my Hollywood beauty. Now's my time, 20 years later, to get my video vixen. The men that think this way, we would love women that are on the wall because now it's easier than dealing with her when she was 25.
Couples therapy was not made for men. Most therapy models are built around verbal emotional expression, like talking through your feelings, naming your emotion, being able to sit with this discomfort. And a lot of men were not taught emotional safety. So for a lot of men who learn staying calm and staying small with conflict is how you survived, walking into a room where you have to perform and be vulnerable in front of your partner, let alone a stranger, yeah, I can understand why they are kicking and screaming to go to therapy. That's not a very healing experience. It's exposing him to something, yet again, without any kind of safety. It just feels like you're dragging him in there with a professional who is going to try to give him that safety, but traditional couples therapy, it is not designed for men. Well, a lot of men always think that the therapist is going to side with the woman because when he shuts down from not knowing the emotional safety, well, he becomes the problem again. Everything is focused on him. Why can't you learn how to speak to your partner and communicate clearly to them? I know this is going to ruffle a lot of people's feathers. I'm a couples therapist. I love what I do. There are lots of couples therapists that are good out there, but I'm just letting you know, traditional therapy, it is not made for men. Comment safety if you believe at least something that I'm saying in here is truth.
There's some suckers out there.
You think it's a sucker if a man take a woman back out?
Yeah, he's a sucker.
What?
Yeah.
What? Why?
The lady that takes because the man
do. So what makes him a sucker? I really want to get it.
This is a great conversation. So a man that comes from nothing, who found a way to get himself out of that and do a little success in life, he gets with a girl. He makes her his queen. He treats her like his queen. He gives her everything. He hunts, goes out there, makes no excuses, no matter what the stress is, no matter what the case is. He come in the back to give her. She with her girls. She looking just as fly as her girls, this, that. You got to understand, when that woman violates that, the man don't know how to handle that. And he just loses it. Cause he's like, yo, you violated that. I don't, you know, because with no disrespect, if you're a provider, you're a guy that did, especially when you come from nothing. I'm not talking about a trust fund baby. I'm talking about a person who came up from nothing and said, all right, I'm gonna share this world with this woman and give her everything equal, whatever we do. And then she violates. It's a whole nother way of forgiving this and this and that. Now,
the good guys watched these videos. The good guys watched your TikTok. The good guys said, oh, really? You think you're going to pull one over on me like that? I don't think so. I'm not spending cash on you on date one anymore. The good guys said, oh, really? You're going to trash? Okay, never mind. Cancel. Right? They don't want it anymore. What's in it for them? What is in it for them? So these are the same women that will complain and cry and moan and all of that stuff that where have all the good guys gone? And they will have no acknowledgement. And I say this all the time. How and when is the mass delete going to happen? Because eventually these 20-somethings are going to be 30-something and they're going to be wanting to get picked. And they're going to be like, oh my God, how do I delete? Listen, you're not going to be able to delete it all because people like me take it and clip it into the shows.
You know, the guy was talking about dealing with women on the wall. And he said, 20 years later, she might have kids, so that's one thing. But I'm guessing if he wanted her, he don't really care, right? I've just been waiting. And so now you have to accept me. And you're upset because you had to settle, right? But this is kind of what I was saying in another clip. These modern women, they delay. But then when they staring at that wall and their options are dwindling, then all of a sudden, man, let me see if I can brush around and find somebody. Then you find yourself in a relationship with somebody that you really don't like or respect. That's on you. You was messing around.
You guys, I asked my grandfather today, what does it look like when a wife submits to a husband? And he says when she renounces her ego. Do you guys know how deep that is? When she renounces her ego. And this generation is literally teaching us to feed our egos. It's teaching society, the women today, to be women in male fields. But when you learn to renounce your ego, you get let go of your pride. You know that you can be 100% right in a situation, but yelling in his face is not going to do anything because you know that prayer works. Renouncing your ego, allowing him to lead even when he's still figuring things out, but still trusting the fact that God is going to speak to him. Renouncing your ego, allowing him to be wrong, right? Be wrong and then come back later and say, hey, I was wrong, but you're not rubbing it in his face that he's wrong and that he never listens to you, but you realizing that allowing him to sit in the moment. You begin to learn that he does better when you tell him what he's doing right instead of what he's doing wrong. You learn that even suggesting to him is more impactful than demanding him. So when he said that, it radicalized my mind. It changed my perspective on many things, and it made me want to become more Christ-like as a woman. It did. And it made me realize that, man, when God sends my husband, yo, that man gonna be blessed. All this wisdom that I'm getting, yo, that man gonna be blessed, yo.
Okay, like no offense, but I have to share this. If I'm literally getting an Uber to the airport and the Uber driver is a male and I'm literally with my luggage, my carry-on, or luggage in general, like the big ones that you're gonna check in, why are you not helping me? Like,
so you only expect that from a man and not another woman? Maybe it's courteous for them to offer? I mean, just because he's a man doesn't mean he owes you extra labor. But because he's a man, he has to do more for you than a woman driver?
why are you staying in the car?
Did you request help?
And not even stepping out?
Do you expect
helping
women?
me put the luggage inside of the trunk? Am I doing that as a lady? Like, what? And mind you, like, the first time this happened to me, I'm like, okay, that's new. He's a little bit young. Like, maybe he just doesn't know, whatever, right? But this has happened a few times already, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, do I just look like some super strong woman? Like, of course I could do it myself.
Well, there you have it. You could do it yourself. So therefore, he doesn't owe it to you. But you're expecting a man to do more for you than the woman drivers. I mean, I guess it would be one thing if you expect every driver to help you, but again, unless you clearly need the help and you nicely asked for it, that's not owed to you. Us ladies were capable of putting our own luggage into a car. Most of us can lift it into the overhead just fine on an airplane. Why is it okay for women to demand labor from men, but men can't do the same thing? Women have asked for years to be treated equal to men, so when a man doesn't help you, he's treating you like an equal. Also, a lot of men have learned, rightfully so, that even talking to a woman or acknowledging her more than he absolutely has to can lead to him being accused of harassing you or bothering you. Even a simple gesture as grabbing your luggage for you can be seen in a negative light. So a lot of men are just simply being cautious and careful. And this is also one of the reasons why we should appreciate the men who do these things instead of expecting it. Because a lot of men have realized it's become this expectation.
Guys mostly just want to, and a lot of them are ugly.
What do you mean a lot of them are ugly? What percent of them are ugly? Yeah.
Probably like 90% of guys are ugly.
You're not attracted to 90% of men.
Yeah.
You find 90% of men unattractive.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question. What percentage of men do you find gross?
Gross? Maybe like 50%.
50?
Maybe more than that.
Of the age range that you prefer, what percentage of men do you find unattractive? So you said
90.
40, 50?
Gosh, I don't know, like 50%. I'd also say probably 90.
90%?
Maybe 95, honestly. Maybe more.
Like 70.
Please.
At least 90.
Do you guys think that you're top 10% women?
Looks wise?
Yeah, just looks.
Maybe like 20%.
You're top 20? Okay.
I would say yes.
Yes, top 20?
Top 10.
Top 10, okay.
Yes.
It's so easy for men. It's really simply easy. You walk into the store and you...
It's so easy for women too. But yet, you guys only focus on yourselves and what you think you deserve when it comes down to relationships. Anytime you go into a store, never have I ever heard a woman just say, oh my God, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this for my man. Y'all are always so heavily focused on receiving gifts from your man, but you never think to get him anything. He got to work for it all the time, but you guys don't work for it. Like my husband and I went to Tonopah last week, and when I went to an A&W, the first thing I thought about was getting him the mug, the 2025 A&W mug. I wanted to get that from him because I know he likes mugs. He drinks beer. Like, it literally is not that hard. You could do that too. It's not always about you.
This one is so filled with rage.
If you're a woman and you hate feminism, then shut the fuck up like you would have to do without it. Shut the fuck up and go get married at 20 and submit to your husband and have his children and stop posting online and stop going to college and stop wearing jeans and live your life without it and see what that life is like. Because I'm sick of you guys getting on here and saying that you're not feminist or that you hate feminism when you don't even know what privileges it has afforded you. It's like using your phone every single day and then saying that you hate electricity. Why do you keep talking? Like you guys are using feminism to complain about how you hate feminism. Shut the fuck up.
These women have swallowed that it is a privilege to do all of these things that ultimately make them miserable, and that it is slavery to do all of the things that are innately feminine, like having a baby and taking care of children and leaning on a man and getting married young. They've been told that that's a sign of weakness and enslavement.
Because I can't be a gentleman no more. It's gotten that bad.
It's not
out here.
respected.
It's not respected.
The nicer you are, the
So
pussier
true.
you are.
Yep. I agree.
That's the nicer. I just told my
I
man.
swear
I
to
said,
you.
I can't even be nice to
Can't
no
be
more.
nice, yo.
You cannot.
Ain't that
if you
some
nice,
shit?
you soft. What's up with this nigga? If you don't got no, did you see the girl who went through the phone and he had no checking for him and she was like, I'm the only to like you? Yep.
What?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. She said, oh, I can't with you. Nigga.
No
I'm the
girls
only
like
girl-
you?
No girls like you but me. Nigga.
You gotta be kidding me, dog.
Bro.
Oh,
I'm dead
man.
ass, bro.
I'm
No
going to
bitches
sleep.
like you, bro.
I'm gonna go lay down. I can't take this shit, yo.
It's just like a great liver can.
When women say that they broke up with some dude because he was too nice, they don't literally mean because he was too nice. And sure, he probably was really nice, but that's all he was. And to be a good partner, you gotta be more than just nice, because at the end of the day, most women don't want to be treated like this perfect object. They want to be treated like people. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. Because there is pressure for men to always be nice, but the pressure comes in the opposite side for women, in the tendency to receive that graciously. And yes, there is pressure to receive it graciously, because at the end of the day, you might not need kindness. Maybe you need something funny. Maybe you need something somber. Maybe being nice all the time just isn't a great strategy. And to men, that doesn't mean stop being nice. It just means be something more than just.
I love simps. Every time I say this on the internet, people try to convince me that I'm wrong. Like, nothing is uglier to me than a nonchalant man. Nothing is uglier to me than a guy that is not all about me, a guy that doesn't baby me, a guy that doesn't take care of me, someone that plays that hot and cold game. I'm also such a simp. Like, it's so disgusting to admit, because once I'm in love with you, I will drown you with affection. So I only want the same in return. Oh, girls always say they want a simp, but then they go for the bad guy. No. Yes, I want a guy to take care of me. Yes, I want a guy to be masculine. Yes, I want him to be confident. When it comes to him loving me, I want him to be vomiting love for me, okay?
Yeah, she friend-zoned me, but it's like whatever.
Nice guys finish last, bro. What was I telling you?
Nice guys do not finish last. That's bull.
What? I held the door open for her and everything. Now look at me.
I would have let you hit if you had done that for me. Look, one time a girl led me on by wishing me happy birthday.
Oh, I'm so wrong for that. I'm sorry.
I know.
Wait, did she actually show interest in you at any time?
So many times. Compliments, touching, eye contact, grabbing, hugged me the one time I was getting hit by a bus.
I remember that. And you consoled her about her rabbit.
Yeah.
Guys, being decent to a woman does not mean she has to date you.
That's the first I'm hearing of this. I'm pretty sure that's one of the amendments.
So what type of guy are you? Are you the type of guy who like falls in love with a girl and starts a family and then cheats on her and leaves? Or are you the type of guy who like gets to know a girl and ruins her life for a couple years and then leaves? Or do you sleep with a girl and then give it a day or two and give her a call and then be, hey, how's it going? And then lead her on for a couple weeks, then ghost her? Or do you like just talk to girls for like a month and then ghost them? Or tell them that you're gonna like come over for dinner and hang out and never show up? Like, what kind of guy are you?
You know, like girls being hypergamous and that, bro, you guys are lying if you tell me guys aren't the same, bro. Like, if there's I get it, like, if a girl's with a guy and like another guy is better looking and he's richer and whatever, yeah, she's gonna pick him over her current man, yeah, cool. But bro, guys are the same. Most men are the same, bro. They like, if they saw a girl that was better looking than their current girl, they're gonna cheat on their girl, bro. They're gonna go for the other girl, bro. They're gonna leave their girl for in a heartbeat, bro. Like, tell me guys aren't the same, bro. Stop acting like us men have bare empathy and that, and we care, like we.
You know, we gotta stop. We gotta start listening to what we say. When we say, you know, it's a pressure for a woman. You know, for these nice guys, these men that are nice, that's all you are, is nice. You're one-dimensional. Do you have any other feelings and emotions? Do you ask? Instead of taking? See, what these modern women will do is they'll get in a relationship with a man. Let's say you go for a month. Let's say you go for 3 months. Because you really want to know, is this guy a nice guy? I mean, he treats me so well. I've never had a man treat me that great. Then after 3 months, I would assume that, you know, man, this guy is a nice guy. He doesn't really have any other emotion. But they don't do that, do they? They continue to be in the relationship with this man for 2-3 years. Sometimes 5, 6, 7 years. As a nice guy. Then at the end of it, when they want to go out and do something else, then they just say, he was too nice. He was a great guy. He's a nice guy, but, you know, he didn't really have a backbone. Did he have a backbone when he provided you that house? When he was paying the rent? When he was paying you to get your nails done and your hair done? He didn't have a backbone then, did he? Oh, but that's what you wanted. Once again, sitting up here talking about men and how men are the problem. Why don't we continue to talk about women and what they be taking from men, instead of putting a stop to the stuff that they be doing? You're wrong for that. And I gave you graciously 3 months to figure out who that man was. Reminder, he took from that man for 3 freaking months. Stuff that he could have been spending on himself. He took that away. You're a vulture. You're a parasite. You're a leech. You're a loser. Let's start calling women that don't know how to be in a relationship and don't know how to reciprocate leeches, losers, and vultures.
It's funny how black women will sit and listen to other miserable black women
when it comes to black men. Like, make it make sense. A woman who can't keep or obtain a real man, you know what I'm saying, or a top tier, high value man, whatever the f- y'all want to call it. A woman who can't even obtain that you're willing to take advice from, if she keeps getting left, clearly she's the problem. Every man does not act the same, but what I have realized is all you women act the same because y'all feel like y'all have nothing to change. And the fact that you don't believe in evolution of self, these men should f- with you. Black women are doing themselves a disservice within our own community. If you don't advocate for respect of black women and black men, then shut the f- up. However, we're not going to skip over the fact that black women are the most disrespectful of the blacks. And the reason that is because it's always been a part of the white man's plan. They want the black woman to think every man is DL or closeted or not a real man because of whatever the they believe in society or whatever they've been told within their misandry. And all this is showing me is that black women refuse to take their power back from the white man. You know what I'm saying? And then start to listen to our black men so we can understand. Stop listening with your feelings involved. Take your feelings out of and I guarantee you, you will hear the message. Stop deflecting and projecting and accept and understand. Oh, and don't forget to comprehend because y'all lack that. Learn how to use your critical thinking skills. If you have none, learn how to get some. Every skill that is a skill or a trait or characteristic is something that can be learned. Sometimes it's just not in you. But if you don't have the willpower to learn, and we have free will, you know what I'm saying? That's on you. Y'all be doing us a disservice by picking up y'all phone and literally projecting. That's all y'all do. Y'all come on here and project. Y'all don't come on here with no facts. Y'all come on here with feelings and don't nobody give a.
The male loneliness epidemic is all your fault.
Okay then.
It's nothing to do with the women.
Well, no. Why would it?
We try our best to talk to you guys and be in crowds where you guys are at, and you don't try. There's zero effort given from the male side. And this is
Sure about that? Because, wait, there's this.
I really am so confused on why these guys think like they have chances when we're literally just being nice.
Ooh, that's just awkward.
Like there isn't any difference between being nice and flirting.
Well, that's true. There is a big difference between being nice to someone and flirting with them. However, some women out there should bear in mind that a lot of men out there have never experienced a woman genuinely being nice to them, unless, of course, they want something.
Being nice to you does not mean that I like you.
Indeed.
You're at the bar talking to these guys. There was no flirting, but at the end of the night, they asked for our numbers. I mean, yes, we're gonna give you our numbers so we can hang out again and be friends. Yeah, let's be friends.
Wait, I thought they didn't like them, but they're still giving them their number so they can be friends? Can anyone understand how a lot of guys out there would be very confused?
Like, it definitely felt more than that, and that's why I'm confused because we were just being nice because they tried having a conversation with us.
Yeah, I can see why a lot of guys out there are choosing to remain single if this is what they have to deal with. Yeah, ladies, they're not lonely. They're choosing peace.
Hey, I know this is a sore topic for the guys, but I hate to keep on reminding y'all. I get comments all the time on my videos on this topic where guys are like, I don't chase. If I have to chase a woman, like, she's not the one. I don't want her. I want her to chase me, like all this stuff. But the gag of it is they will chase. I watch them do it. I watch them. The same guys saying, I will not chase a woman, will absolutely chase a woman that they think is out of their league. Will absolutely chase a woman that they think is their dream woman. Happens all the time. Don't listen to anybody who claims it doesn't. With men, I've learned that when they like a girl, there is a sense of urgency. They realize that they need to bag her or someone else will, so they'll go for it. So many guys have told me this, but I've also seen it with my own eyes. One time there was this guy that was interested in me and he came to visit my city and we spent like the weekend together. We kind of like showed him around with all my friends. And at the end of it all, he was like, hey, like I am really interested in you. That's why I came down here. I really want to pursue things with you. And I know if I don't do this right now, someone else is going to snatch you up. So I'm just shooting my shot here. Meanwhile, I had no idea that he was here trying to pursue me. I just thought he wanted someone to show him around the city, but whatever. But if that's not proof that they know that if they like somebody, they have to pursue because they know how it works. They know how other guys work and how they think. So no, don't let these guys fool you. Don't think that just because they're saying they won't chase, that they won't chase. They will. They'll chase. And if they're not chasing you, then you're not the right girl for them. No worries. But just know if he did like you, he would be chasing. So don't listen to these guys. They're lying to you.
I saw this post. She said, I don't believe in hypergamy because most women choose to date broke, chopped, unemployed men.
I have an opinion about this right here, but I feel like there's an even larger broker and chopper population underneath that like she's not acknowledging at all. Even in like an intentional way, but I think your brain just doesn't register.
Apparently, BRS is right more times than I'd like to admit. He's like kind of a genius, but also like really selfish and extremely BP in his own way. So basically, she's referring to the fact, or he is referring to the fact that she might be, just for the sake of visual, she might be here, but thinking she needs here. So she's saying, you know, these guys are broke and they're ugly. And it's like, that's just your match. So when you see all these, I see all these girls with these broken, ugly guys, and it's like, you deem them as a broken, ugly, and it's because you don't understand that's your level. And then they forget these humans even exist. Way down here at the bottom. Way down here. And in a lot of women's head, they're like, oh, well, obviously those don't count. And it's like, yeah, dude, they are humans, though. They exist. They're the majority. You're forgetting about those. But yeah, BRS, he did it again.
Do you have any guy friends?
I do.
If we were dating and they wanted to spend time with you one-on-one, how would you react?
Okay, so a lot of the guys that I date with do not condone me having guy friends. But unfortunately, because I'm single and no one has asked me for marriage, I'm going to continue to have guy friends. I'd rather guy friends than female friends.
So you're saying that you're single until married?
Absolutely.
Even if we were boyfriend, girlfriend?
Absolutely.
So if I said, yo, my boundary is no hanging out with this dude who I don't know.
As a girlfriend, you don't have that ability to tell me what I can and cannot do because there's no ring on my finger and because there's someone out there that's going to give me the full throttle of what I want. I believe that.
But if we're together, why would you want to break that?
So let me reverse the question, right? So we're together, right? And you have a fan base of female friends, right? Will you hang out with them?
Not if it's something you didn't like.
Okay, so I like your thought process. A lot of guys won't think like that.
You can go back to, say, the Victorian era, and men used to treat women with an extreme amount of deference because the generations living then remembered a time when the world was a lot more difficult than people now remember it being. So the physical inequality between men and women was emphasized because the world was a much more difficult place. Men took a paternalistic and patriarchal view on how women should be treated, and women wanted men to take that. They wanted to be safe, they wanted to be provided for, they wanted to make sure their children were safe, and men did what they could. Now, men have won. They've, you know, the fact we've got aeroplanes flying overhead and the fact that we're not about to be invaded is the victory of Western man. Then for some reason women decided, okay, well I'm not afraid anymore. I want what you have. You don't do the things that we do, so you can't have what we have. But men just want women to be happy. They want them to love them. They want their approval. And so if gaining women's approval means pretending women are equal to men or, you know, saying this, that, and the other, whatever it is, they'll do it. And it's completely taken men off of the throne that they sat on. This throne was never imposed by authority, actually. It was imposed by consent. And the second women withdrew their consent for the man to be on that throne, the throne collapses and the men are just standing around going, okay, well, I guess I'll just play video games and drink beer all day and smoke weed. And if you don't need me, I won't do anything. Because that's really the whole raison d'etre of being a man, just to be needed by someone else. And it's always been women.
I watched my husband go from a boy to a man when I started to be his wife and not his mother. And I think this generation of women don't know how to speak to the prince, so they speak to the fool. And if, you know, we want to have godly sons and godly husbands, we speak to the possibility, the man of God that they're growing into, instead of nag the one that we think is less than.
Whoa.
So
how do women speak to their husbands? Like what practically, if a woman's listening to this, a wife is listening to this and saying,
I'll give a practical. Okay, well, first of all, husbands and wives tend to speak to one another as though they are enemies rather than allies. So if you're an ally, you're on the same side of the table and the problem's on the other side. If you're enemies, you're pushing something back and forth between two people. You did this, well, you did this, well, you did this. You'll never have a resolution. So when God started to talk to me, he said, you have become an expert in your husband's weaknesses, and you used to be an expert in his strengths.
Whoa.
And I thought, well, I don't want to just talk about his strengths, because then he'll get, like he won't deal with the other things. He said, strengths displace weaknesses. So I had to learn that when I talk to my husband, I had to talk to his strength rather than attack his weakness.
And you just heard her say a lot of the guys that I date don't condone me hanging out with these guys. But because I'm single, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. So when I'm single, I'm just going to go buck wild. I'm not going to have any discipline. I'm going to require that he has discipline. But for me, I'm not going to have any discipline. And this is how they treat the nice guy. This is how they treat the good men, right? Well, and then they say, well, he doesn't have a backbone. No, he had a backbone. He was just trying to be nice to you. And he was trying to mention to you, hey, man, and you heard it. Well, I really don't like that. That's not something that I want. And you do it anyway because you don't care. That's really what it comes down to. Like we said, you don't care. And then you said, well, you guys are too nice and you don't have a masculine bone in your body and you don't have a backbone and that. Foolishness. Foolishness. That man told you exactly what he wanted, exactly what he didn't want, and you didn't care.